Hey, horror fans, welcome back to Jay vs. Horror and another episode of Hardcore Horror Reviews. Now, today we're going to be talking about 2012's Children of Sorrow. It's a horror film directed by Jordan McClure and it was part of the After Dark Originals series. The movie was released October 6, 2012 at the Sacramento Horror Film Festival and then hit DVD March 4th, 2014, a couple years later. So there was a little buzz about it here and there, but I think it's been pretty much underseen by a lot of fans. And it stars Bill Oberst Jr., who is a great actor that doesn't get a lot of credit. He's been in a lot of low budget stuff, and even if he's in a movie that's bad, you kind of notice him. He's very good. He was a theater actor who did a lot of one man shows. He did a John F. Kennedy one man show that went for years, and then he did a classic stand up comics routine where he did all these different comics routines. He's a very good mimic, a great actor, and in this film, Children of Sorrow, he plays well, he's a cult leader, but basically what he is a con man and a psychopathic criminal. Now, the interesting thing about this film is that it's done in found footage style or mockumentary, and but it feels much more like a real documentary than most things you'll see because it's being filmed by him. It's being documented by him, and so we're even told early on in the film that he is a con man and that he's bragging about what he's going to do to these people, that he's done this before. And so the movie is hardcore, in my opinion, in the way that it shows how people can be affected by other people. It's not necessarily graphically violent, or although there are some graphically violent scenes that we will talk about in a minute. But I think psychologically, this is a hardcore horror film, and it's a great performance here by Obrist, who just kills it. Pardon the pun, as this psychotic cult leader who knows what he wants from these people going in and manipulates them to the fullest extreme. So the first hour of the film is very slow, and a lot of people may have gotten turned off by that, I think. But it's all about the performance here from Obrist in the first half of the film. We have a woman who's looking for her missing sister, and she thinks she was a part of one of his past cults. So she's trying to infiltrate this setup that he's got going on. He's brought 12 people to this secluded area, similar to something like the Spawn Ranch out in the middle of the desert. And, they're going to live there like a compound and a big family and all that, and talk about religion and God and all that fun stuff. And so, as the film kind of moves on, like I said, guys, the first hour is slow, but it is interesting in the fact we see these characters be built up for what they are. We see their weaknesses and how he's exploiting their mental capacity. Also, we see him constantly talking about himself. He is a hardcore narcissist. I mean, the guy makes so much sense to himself that sometimes he doesn't even care if what he's saying is making sense. He's just putting on an act. I mean, he's like a monkey dancing around in front of a camera. But Obrist is very good at nailing it because he rides that line of where the guy is very intoxicating and charming in the fact that he's twisted and evil and intelligent. Similar to something like Creep with Mark Duplass, where he's, he's crazy, all right, but he's able to find that middle ground where I think a normal person looks at this person and knows they're full of shit, right? I mean, just like Mark Duplass in Creep, I was not, I think about 30 minutes into hanging out with Aaron or whoever he was that time. I think about 30 minutes into that, I would have been up out of there. And I think about 30 minutes of hanging around this guy would have told me that this motherfucker is crazy about himself. And to a weird extent. And so, yeah, great performance here. And the first hour is real slow, and you're kind of like, okay, okay, okay. But it's all set up. He's setting these people up. He's exploiting their weaknesses. And then the last 30 minutes of the movie get fucking rough, okay? He has totally broken all of them and now has them willing to do anything, and I mean anything. Everything from performing with each other sexually on camera when they don't want to drinking poison, to stabbing each other to death. There's, you know, if you want to get hardcore, if you need something that's actually graphic to make it hardcore for you, there's a scene where he beats a woman to death with a sledgehammer in a bathroom stall that's terrifying because he's laughing and joking about it the whole time, and she's terrified. She has like, what are you doing? I thought, you know, and there's some other scenes, people getting their throat cut, their brains blown out, just bam, like that, out of nowhere. This guy, this was his entire plan from the beginning. I mean, and we know that, so it's almost like it shouldn't be shocking when it gets to this point, but the extremity that he takes it to is what makes it shocking. And to see his sickness, even in the final scene with what he does, which I don't want to spoil it because there is kind of a twist here at the end of this movie, and it's just, it's insane. It is pure insanity. I mean, most of us look at cults, and that's what we think. We think that's pure insanity. I would never be willing to listen to anyone to a point where I'm going to do something that's not who I am. That's just me. But not everyone is that strong, and a lot of people have been hurt. They've been traumatized by past events in their life, and so when these people find them, they see broken people, they see victims, and they exploit that. You know, everyone's treated you terribly. Well, I'm going to treat you great for a long time, and then really bad. You know, after I've gained your trust, and it's never been put on display quite like it is in this film. I can tell you that, and it is a psychological mind thing that might not be good for everyone even to see, but it might be good for everyone. It's kind of like a PSA, because if you're an idiot and people like this make sense to you, watch this movie and you'll see why they shouldn't make sense to you, because uh, not everything is random. Sometimes you meet somebody and you think, wow, that was a really cool person I met randomly today. And what you should be thinking is, isn't it interesting that just out of nowhere I met a randomly cool person today? I hate to say that, but sometimes being a pessimist will keep you in one piece, guys. All right, that's all we got for today. That's Children of Sorrow 2012. And guys, I couldn't find a free link for this one, but it is on Amazon Prime. So if you get a chance, go check it out. And even if you have to rent it, it's like $3. You're gonna watch a lot of movies in your lifetime. They're gonna cost, $10, $20 on a date. They're gonna be a lot worse than this film. So check it out if you get a chance. Children of Sorrow 2012. And guys, we will talk to you the next time we got something worth talking about. Bye.